Assume we're live. What's going on, everybody? Here we are, live before lock, Monday, April 29th. I like this slate. It's kind of like useless. I don't know. There's nothing that stands out as like real besides Verlander. I don't really see any stacks that are crazy awesome. I don't see any pitching that's crazy awesome. It's just kind of a lot of the same. And that makes me really excited to play. I just feel like I can get the things that I want more than I normally do. What do you think of this slate, Jake?
Feels like, you just kind of play a wide variety of stacks and pitchers and stuff. And I guess apparently avoid Ian Kinsler if he's going to be this chalky. I think it definitely lends itself to more of an MME type night. So I think me and you are both pretty happy about that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hit the normal stuff out of the gate. This says MLB strategy is the promo code, but that is not at all correct. Find the live before lock overlay and get that switched out. Live before lock is the promo code. You'll get 50% off your first month with us. Any package you choose. See, there we go. On the fly production. You can't beat it. 50% off your first month if you use the promo code live before lock. And just shout out in general to Yahoo. They do not sponsor this show, but we love them anyway.
Of course. Yeah, they're the best.
So normally we would start this show off, talking about our favorite hitters or talking about our favorite pitchers, but I want to start somewhere else.
Oh.
I need to know what your take is on one John Means.
Oh. Yeah. I am assuming I'm going to be opposite of you here once again. I am on the Means bandwagon here. So I guess I was on it from the beginning, all the way back to 6 days ago or whatever that was. I think it was the last time we were on, actually. The last time both of us were on Wednesday. And
yeah, I guess it was.
He worked out. So
he did work out.
He's got that one good pitch, the changeup. And that can be really useful to some of these righties. So I'm on him. I didn't catch that part of the strategy show this morning. Are you on him?
I am not on him. I'm not on him whatsoever. But I want to have this conversation, and I want to have it in the least Josh way possible. So I'm going to try to not be super condescending when I say it, and all the other normal tropes that would happen when I disagree with everyone else. I mean this sincerely. I think it's crazy that everyone is reacting to 3 starts.
Well, yeah, I mean, long term, you're probably right about him not being a great pitcher, but this is DFS. I mean, it's a pretty good matchup. You can't really argue that
I agree with.
Yeah, and he's got a very, very good pitch and a pitch that you can have huge performances when you have that pitch working. The changeup to opposite-handed hitters is huge. There are strikeouts. He's shown he can rack up strikeouts. He's shown he can rack up swinging strikes. He's shown he can get people to chase. So he's exactly what I'm looking at as far as cheap-ish pitchers. And there really aren't any other options tonight. If he was going to be 50%, then maybe I'd start to get towards where you're at. But I don't get how you can play none of them. On DK, I guess
22% owned. That's the 4th highest exposure in our ownership projections right now.
Yeah, 4th highest. Who else are you going to play on DK?
I would just as soon play Zach Davies. I don't think that they're any different.
I think they're different. I think
we've seen him throw 150 changeups, 140 as a starter. In 2 of the 3 starts, his strikeout rate in those starts have been below average by a lot. He's literally thrown 13 innings as a starter. I just don't understand what everybody's doing. I will never understand this one.
They're working in short samples, but that's the only sample you have on this guy in the majors, at least. Well,
what about the other 4 years where he was never a strikeout pitcher, even in the minors? We're supposed to just assume that 140 pitches is what we need to establish a sample on strikeouts in fantasy.
No, guys change, but yeah, you're probably right. He's probably not a completely different pitcher, but that doesn't mean that he can't be useful for DFS tonight. And if you think that Davies is even close to as good of a play as Means is, you should, and I'm sure you do, but for the audience, if you guys think they're close, you should be playing as much or more of Davies than Means. Even if it's 15% of each, that's still a big edge on Davies ownership, right?
Yeah, I'd rather have 0% of each. So like Mark Smith in YouTube chat, I'm not trying to point you out to be the normal Josh that I am in these spots. That Means is grading out well on roto grinders, also has high expected Ks per 9, low expected WOBA. Because he's only thrown 13 innings as a starter. That's the key piece of all of this. Of course he's grading out well. He has no sample, and that particular sample has gone well in 13 innings.
Yeah. So, I mean, are you going to go as far? Well, I don't know how you do this on DK, but are you going to try to stack White Sox? Are you going to try to force some in?
I'm not even going to have to force them. They will just casually make their way into the lineup for me. At least that's what I expect. Because my model is going to tell me that John Means is bad and he's getting ownership, and that is like the first thing that's going to just cruise to the top of my stacks.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, he's not a guy that's going to have a 15% swinging strike rate and all this, but I don't know that we can for sure say that he's bad. I mean, we can't for sure say he's bad.
I think we can way more say for sure he's bad than for sure he's good.
Well, I mean, it's baseball. You can't say for sure about anything until you get to a much, much bigger sample. Even if it's one season, I mean, you can look back.
And that's where I guess we differ, because I think we already have that sample. It just doesn't happen to be in the majors.
Oh, well, I mean, there's a reason he got here. He's obviously improving.
Sure. He could be improving.
I don't know. I mean, if it's an ownership thing, then that's fine. But
I mean, I wouldn't want him one way or the other, but I definitely don't want him when he's 22% owned.
Okay, that I understand. Ownership matters in MLB DFS. We both really factored in, and he's coming up for me as a good play even with this increased ownership, because I have him as being quite a bit of a better play than a guy like Davies, who I think his upside is very, very capped, even against a team that I like targeting in Colorado, especially when they're on the road.
Yeah, I have them separated by 0.2 of a fantasy point and the exact same percentage chance of reaching their target score.
Okay, I've got them at, let's see, Means, and where's Davies here? Yeah, I've got Means at 4 or 5 points higher.
Okay. I'm on an island, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he comes in higher than.
I mean, I think Lofty likes him. Adam for sure. Adam, I don't know what substances Adam found while he was in Nashville, but whatever they are making him be incredibly high on Means. I know Chris is going to be on him or is on him right now. Yeah. So I'm on an island.
You're on the Osmo Island.
And the worst part is going to be when I still think he pitches bad tonight, but is like a functional punt, and I just have to like run in place for another 6 days before I have to do this exact same argument again.
No, there's no victory lap on Means tonight unless he's getting you, let's say, like 18 DK points, 17, 18. If he does that, I think maybe the victory lap will be warranted. But I mean, even if he gets 17 DK points, Davies could easily get you 13. So you still wouldn't be wrong then.
God, if John Means gets 17 DK points tonight.
Well, he's already done that. What did he do last game?
Okay. If we are basing things on doing something once before, I probably look like a much different human being by taking the best things I've ever done. Oh, man. Do you think there's any merit to the fact that this last game for Means, let me hop to this game quick on my screen. Do you think there's any merit to the White Sox having just seen Means?
I think
as a negative for Means.
I think in general, I would say that, yeah, that's probably a negative, just because you know what he's going to throw in certain counts. So I don't know. I didn't quantify that, but if you wanted to bump him down, maybe not the worst idea, especially for a guy that's getting ownership.
Yeah,
I just didn't.
That's not something that I factor in or anything. That was more of a what are your thoughts on something like that?
I mean, I didn't play baseball at a level above the 6th grade little league level, so hard for me to say. But yeah, I'm sure people
This
feel
would be my opinion on it.
Yeah.
I never wanted to see a pitcher again that I thought was good. And you could have given me the same garbage pitcher every day for a year and I would have been cool with it, and don't think that, and like, I think that I crush him the exact same way from the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
At least in baseball, I feel like after seeing like 3 or 4 pitches, you know how you feel against that guy, like moving forward.
Probably.
Like we had a guy when I was in high school that like just had us shook. We just didn't hit him well. He beat us twice. It was 2 of the only 4 losses we had all the way to the state title game. But like this guy got us.
Nice humble brag. State title game.
Well, we lost that too. But we had this guy, and like we were set up to see him in the district final, but we whooped the team that we played in the semifinal so bad that it ended early. We got in the bus and drove to their game to watch the rest of it, and they choked once we showed up and lost the game, so we never saw him. And I always think that this is the reason we got there, because we already knew in our heads that we couldn't hit this dude, but we didn't have to face him. So I wonder if like major league hitters think about that sort of stuff, like, I hit him because like BVP, but for real in people's heads. I'm sure there are people that are just like, dude, we get Manny Benuelos today, and I crush this dude.
Well, sure.
So I wonder how quickly that'll calibrate for John Means.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends how much real estate Means owns in these White Sox hitters' heads.
I want to know how much real estate Means owns in all of your heads.
Apparently,
like he's taken out blocks and blocks in the Osimo staff.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I guess he's a pretty big part of the slate if he's going to be a guy that allows you a bunch of different lineup constructions, being one of the only like cheapish pitchers we're using. And by we, I mean me and Adam and Laffy and maybe Alex and Tom, and Chris.
Everybody but me, basically.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Tanner Roark? Those guys are separated by $300. Relatively similar ownership. I have them as very different options today, but I'm curious on your thoughts. He's the only other guy in like this tier that grades out higher than Means for me.
I'm not a big Roark guy. I think he's pretty washed. I think he can be okay against righties, and he's got a bunch at the bottom of this order, but I think McNeil and Alonso, Nimmo, Conforto are all huge problems for him. So I love the Mets stack, and it looks like they're not going to be super heavily owned. So I'm much more on the Mets stack side of that than I am Roark.
Okay. Just curious. All right. Well, let's tackle it now like we normally do. Had to get the Means discussion in. What time does that game start? Will I see any of this? 8:00. Okay, we're fine. I'll check it out.
I will not see it because that's when the hockey game starts. So
who plays today in hockey?
Blues. I'm wearing my blue shirt, if you can see, and the Stars.
I can see that you're wearing a blue shirt. I can't tell that it is a Blues shirt.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So what are you looking at the high end on pitching? Where are you concentrating your ownership to pitchers that are actually good?
It is Verlander. Oh, I see FC just added Chirinos to the mix. I still am not going to get to him, I don't think.
I sent that message in.
You did?
I did.
Well, look at you, Mr. Important. State title game, and then gets everything he wants on Cruncher.
Again, we lost that game.
That's not how I remember the story.
I wish we won. I wish I remembered it differently. I remember wanting to throw a silver medal in the garbage immediately. I still wish I would. Hangs on my parents' wall.
So Verlander is the highest owned guy for me, at least. That's what it's going to look like between him and Means, actually. And Wheeler, those 3 are going to be my highest owned. And then everyone else is going to be below 20, like Corbin, Freeland, Davies, Benuelos, Roark, Odorizzi, Maeda, Rodriguez, if I get any of those guys.
You don't think that you're going to get to Chirinos at all?
Not at almost 8K. if he was starting, I agree with Lofty. If he was starting, I think I would get to him much more. But at almost 8K, like how many innings can he throw? Can he throw 6, or will they pull him before that? Because Stanek can go 2 easily, or 1 1/3. I don't know.
He's gone big innings so far, hasn't he?
He has
6, 7, 2 5s.
Right, but if he goes 2 5s, then he's got to be perfect to pay off at that price, I think.
Sure.
So
I don't know. I kind of like him. I'm anxious to see where he shows up when I run my crunch, since he wasn't in there obviously before. But he grades out pretty well. Like I have him, comparable to Michael Wacha, Kyle Freeland. So I could see him getting a couple ownership percentages from me.
All right. I mean, he's actually grading out okay in the projections on the site. So maybe I should read. I mean, I just assumed I wouldn't get him, but I'll run another crunch and see for sure.
So if you want an even more like pessimistic view of it, I only gave him 4 2/3. And he grades out pretty well.
Okay.
Then again, I also have a projection system that tells you that John Means is terrible. So maybe I'm not the guy you're looking for.
Yeah, clearly flawed. I know my numbers they like Chirinos, so let's see. I'll give him. What did you give him? 4 1/3.
I gave him 4.7. So yeah, 4 2/3.
I'll give him 5. Let's see what happens. All right. Well, we'll see how much Chirinos I'll actually get to in just a few minutes.
We still waiting on 2 lineups?
Nope. They're in.
Yep, dodged them both in. Cool. That makes my life a lot easier. Now I can get to work.
Yeah, now we can just crunch and chat.
Who's your least favorite pitcher on the slate that is getting ownership?
That's getting ownership?
Yeah, it's really easy for us to both be like, yeah, I don't really like Zach Davies.
I mean, I like Davies better than some other guys, but like
what I mean. Okay.
Soroka.
Okay, so Soroka is a good example there. 15% expected ownership there. You're not a fan?
I got none. He just doesn't grade out all that well for me.
Now we're on the same page.
I thought this was a guy that I was gonna like, but looking and like double checking the stuff that I like to look at, like he just doesn't grade out well for me really at all compared to some of these other guys that are cheaper like Means or a little bit more expensive like Wheeler.
That makes me happy. I like it when we agree. I feel more comfortable. It worked well Friday.
It did work well Friday.
Why is that at 9.5? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it worked out very well on Friday, us agreeing. So I'm hoping that it does it again. Yeah, I'm not a Soroka guy, and as a lapsed Braves fan, at the very least, I do pay attention to prospects, and he is a command guy, and that's just not something that tends to jump to the top of the list for me. Those guys are what you're looking for in a command guy is the exception and not the norm. The norm of guys like him that come up is that he gets figured out really quick, and we find out the command is not quite enough to miss enough bats. That's usually how it happens. Sometimes you get the guy that can actually break through that, and I don't really think that it's going to be Soroka. I hope I'm wrong, because I'd like for the Braves to have a high prospect ace in their lineup, but I'm not confident that it's him. So I'm not really paying attention to him, but I like that call of guy that's owned that I don't really like all that much.
Yeah, I just don't really see it. And I would like to, because some of these Padres are getting ownership. So I think Freeland's much better. Zach Carpenter in chat just says, I'm really starting to like Freeland. That's where I'm getting my non-Means shares and Davies and all that. So what do you think about Freeland?
So, twofold answer. He grades out just like Roark, Chirinos, and Wacha for me. I don't like him all that much because he's at 21%. I'd rather just have Chirinos. I'd rather go to a little bit more Michael Wacha if I have to. So I understand why Kyle Freeland is getting owned. I would be okay using him as like my SP2 in cash. And I fully expect to have at least some shares here. But I don't get the sense that I would want to be like heavy on him because the field is already beating me to it.
Right. Yeah, he did pick up steam throughout the day, so that's a little bit concerning. But I thought I was going to be like the only one on him, and then I would have really liked it. I just think Freeland's a good pitcher. So I think you call them slightly above average. I think he's above average, very easily above average. Real life pitcher. For DFS though, he does have some upside. He's not like obviously not a Corbin or someone like that can give you 10 plus Ks very often. But I like Freeland. I think he's always underpriced. It seems like.
Yeah, look, he looks like a really. I don't want him for 40 on Yahoo, but I think 8,400 on FanDuel and 7,700 on DraftKings. If you're playing 150 lineups, is the type of guy that you want to have exposure to.
Yep, exactly.
It's just a really scary matchup because the Brewers have a lot of guys that make mistakes go a long way.
On a slate like today, and I think this was asked. Yeah, it was asked in the deep dive. Kyle asks, on a slate like today, would you gravitate more towards 2 and 3 man stacks compared to the 4-man on FanDuel?
No. I will still be stacking up 4 4s, 4 3s, and then 4 whatever comes with it.
You're still looking for an outlier performance.
Yep.
Just because it's not a slate you're sure of doesn't mean you should be stacking any less. The stacking, the amount you stack should be based on the amount of options, meaning the amount of games on the slate. Do you agree with that, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, once you cross a certain threshold, like it's all the same. Like there's very little difference to me between 9 and 14. Like I'm still stacking the same way that I would have been. But yeah, when you get into like the 2, 3, 4 game set, you can be a little bit less aggressive with the stacking, in our opinion, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for this one, there's no difference for me.
Yep.
You ready to talk some hitting?
Yeah, let's talk some hitting.
I'm about to start running crunches, but who's grading out at the top for you?
Oddly enough, the Mets I mentioned right at the top. I really, really love the Mets. I do like the Dodgers, even though I hate the park. Like, I'll just take some talented bats in a bad park against a guy who's having trouble missing bats in Samardzija. I almost said the Capitals, the Nationals against Waka. Speaking of guys I think might be washed, Waka grades out as a pretty below average pitcher for me. And you've got Soto and Adams, I think are both super cheap, as well as Eaton, Robles for only 4,400. And that's just like one of the best price teams, most well-priced team maybe on the slate. So I do like them. And then Houston against Odorizzi is, and I saw our buddy Sean V said that when has Houston ever blown up Odorizzi, but I think we're dealing with some short samples there, so that made me chuckle.
So
but
we're okay. We don't want to use that small sample, but we're cool with it for means. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure that I'm getting all of this stuff together.
Yes. Humans by nature are hypocritical, Josh.
That's very true. Myself included, aggressively.
Yeah. So you've probably, what's the word? I don't even know. Hypocritical. I'm just talking myself into a hole right now.
I have probably been a hypocrite. Is that where you're going?
You have, yeah, but I'm looking for a different word.
Okay.
That gets me to the point. You've probably been a hypocrite today about your early show. I see someone in the chat saying your takes were completely different from the last time you were on the show. So that happens. Information changes. You should change your opinion, right?
Yeah, I guess. Although I'd love to know which specific take that is, because I have no idea what it is.
It's just the thing that gets thrown at us a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I did say something different. Lineups change. Yeah. That's just how this works.
Yeah, like Verlander. Like, maybe if you didn't like him before, it's hard not to like him with this lineup that they're rolling out. That'd be an example of something.
He actually, no, I'm not kidding around at all. When I put the lineup in, he actually fell in my projections from what was in there previously.
Come on.
I mean, like, not by any amount that is making me change anything that I'm doing, but yeah, his target score percentage fell by like 0.9%. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I assume it was just like the way that the order shifted. It pushed down someone that struck out more is what I'm guessing.
Got it.
I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I don't really pay attention to what was in there previously.
Yeah.
All right, it's about time to run crunches, which I'm honestly a little excited about. I'm pumped for this slate. I have I don't understand why I'm pumped for this slate.
You're on the heater high. I'll tell you exactly why you're pumped.
That's probably true too. I do just want to play.
When you're just like, when you've profited even just like a little bit, like 4 out of 5 days or something, like you just cannot wait for the next slate to happen in whatever sport. Like I start playing sports I don't know anything about. So yeah, that's what you're feeling probably.
I think that I have a hole in my sheet right now, and I need to figure out where it is.
Means increased projection by 5.0. I think that's the hole.
Now, I have to get Nate Lowe into my lineups because he is Nathaniel at a different site.
I caught that one early.
I didn't catch it right now, and I don't know why I didn't catch it. It should show up very obviously in this table, but for some reason, it's just showing up as a hole in the table. That is not helpful.
There's no Verdugo in the ownership projections. I'm also noticing. Yeah.
I mean, I assume it's not a very high number anyway, so.
No, I just see a few guys down here: Solarte, Sandoval, Verdugo, all at 0. So, not that I want to play those guys. Maybe Solarte batting second.
You know what time it is?
What? Oh, it's 5:30, 6:30 Eastern. Jeez, we're flying. I believe it's Dong Picks time.
It is time to do Dong Picks, and just so I can get this out of the way now, because you were right. I am on a high, and it's not just in my play. I am also incredible at picking home runs. Friday, you want to poo-poo it like, oh, well, you're coming into chat and making home run picks. Like, we didn't do it for an entire year. And what did I do? Francisco Lindor double dong. But we're not done yet. What happened Sunday? Did I pick a Max Kepler home run? Did I go back-to-back? I did go back-to-back. Wait, what happened on Saturday? I picked Nolan Arenado on Saturday. No one gave me credit for it. Went yard. That's 3 straight. I can't stop picking home runs. I can't stop doing well. I'm incredible. Jake. Get on board. Get on board. Means is terrible. I'm telling you.
What you said. Yeah, what you said. You're just the best there ever has been.
I'm going to go on the worst run right now.
Oh, I know. I mean, it humbles you quick. This is how I felt last week during NHL. I think I profited 6 out of 7 days. And you just can't wait, and you just think you're invincible, and then, you just get crushed 3 days straight, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm not a millionaire at this. I'm not awesome-o.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it'll humble you really quickly. Alex is better than Joe DiMaggio's streak.
Yeah, exactly.
So as of right now, I have 5 home run picks. That is the highest number in this contest. Let it be clear here. Number 1, this guy. Number 2, unfortunately, is Chris. 4 home runs and 18 choices.
He has 4? How did he sneak up and get 4?
He got one on Saturday.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, EMAC is currently sitting at 4 for 9, also tied with Chris. And I feel bad saying it out loud. I don't mean to shame you like this, but 0 for 14.
Oh,
Ikari.
That's a bad run. I don't know if I was telling you or EMAC or who, but I should just see if I can keep this over. I think that's equally as impressive. If I could keep making real picks and somehow not get any of them right, that would be pretty cool.
So are we just going to rename the home run contest? Like you will represent the Mendoza line of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will be the Hari line.
Okay. Yeah, that makes some sense to me.
I'll probably actually win this contest in October, but just like last year.
Okay.
I'm just giving myself exactly what I had last year. You guys had a month head start before I appeared on any live before lock shows, and that's when we came up with the contest. So I've been here before.
Okay.
Not scared.
Looking to make a late summer run when the home runs pick up.
Yeah, exactly.
So would you like to go first, or do you want me to?
No, please. You go first.
Okay. I feel like you're gonna troll my pick here. I have not looked at this yet. I have no idea which. I don't even have my crunches in yet, so I might pick somebody that I'm not playing, which was a problem that I had a lot last year, where I'd be cheering for the dong pick and it would tumble my lineups. Alrighty. If I need to make a pick today, then my pick will be that game. Where is that game? Oh, then this one. I feel super confident here. Home run pick for today, Charlie Blackmon.
Charlie Blackmon. Let's see. Against Davies? Why did you not pick a White Sox?
Because I like Charlie Blackmon.
Okay.
We know how left-handed power works in Milwaukee's park. It's the only place that Christian Yelich can hit a home run, apparently.
Whatever. I'll just try to get on the board here. I don't know if this is too obvious or not. You guys let me know.
You can have anybody.
I'll take Acuna against Marjavicius. Nick M.
Exactly. Ronald Acuna showing up 23rd in my model.
How is he 23rd? You talk about a guy that's bad. Nick M. This guy is trash.
Not a great park factor for right-handed power.
All right. Turner's first dong of the year. Has he not hit a home run yet?
No idea.
Man.
Crunch time.
It was either going to be Acuna for me or Brandon Nimmo, who I actually like a ton. So
I got another. How are you not going to take a White Sox player? I don't need to take a White Sox player. I'll have enough of those lineups.
Well, yeah, but you're invincible right now.
I hope so, man. It's way more fun if I am, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Chris is taking Tyler Flowers.
All right. That's a good pick, actually. He is second behind Acuna for me in my made-up home run model.
Sure. Tyler Flowers is 94th in my home run model.
No respect. Acuna. I mean Flowers.
Thanks for making it easy on me, Chris.
Nimmo whiffs. Got to take all the Nimmo out of my lineups now. I should too.
Greek Ink asking, where's Juan Soto? Soto is 32nd.
Soto's a nice pick.
Oh, God. I got to get these crunches in. Oh, it's only 6:36. I actually have an overwhelming amount of time.
What sites are you playing on tonight? Are you playing on all three?
I am playing just on FanDuel and DK today. Really hard to manage all three if one of them is a manual process while I'm live. So I love you, Yahoo. I really do. I just can't do it today.
Makes sense.
It's been nice to be back on DK. I wish I would have set that up from the beginning.
I'm surprised you didn't.
I had with basketball at the same time, it was really difficult to manage it all. I knew that I was just going to be playing on one, and I didn't want to have a high volume, so it was easier to play on FanDuel.
Did you ever end up playing on DK this year for NBA?
Yeah, the whole season.
Oh, you did? I thought you said at the beginning you weren't going to because of the late swap.
Then I guess not the whole season, I guess is the right way. Like 2 months into the season, I realized that it's not like I was stopping from doing those things. I was just mostly up for most of the time. So I was going to have to be updating projections for the most part anyway, up until 10 o'clock. So it didn't really affect me as much as I thought it would.
Okay, that makes sense.
When push came to shove, we watched a lot more Netflix during this NBA season than I expected. I expected more activity, and there was not that much activity.
Got it.
Yeah, so ultimately, I played a lot more on DK than I expected.
Yeah.
It's just so different. Both sites, every sport, it's just a completely different experience.
It's hard for me to do more than one site. So doing three, I mean, while you're doing this, it's tough to try to keep the conversation going and do three sites. But you've got it down. You've been doing this for longer than me, though. So
it's been a while now, almost like a year and a half, 2 years almost. coming up on it at least. So what kind of different stacks are you running today, or what kind of different stacks do you run normally?
I have my favorite are 5-2-1. That's how I've had my most success, and 4-3/4-4, mostly 4-3. But today I did 100 of 5-2-1, 100 of 5-3, 100 of 4-4, 100 of what's the last one? 4-3. So just took down 400 lineups, and then I cut it down to 150 based on my adjusted projection that factors in ownership.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to see exposures unless I delete stuff in Cruncher, but I'm going to try to do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're running very similar structure then.
Yeah.
Just every different combination I can get, and then let Excel do the work for me.
Yep. So I ended up, just a quick look, 74% Verlander. Where's my buddy Means at? Let's see. 60% John Means.
60 or 16?
60.
What, dude? Oh, God.
I
do not endorse that decision.
Well, I mean, I don't endorse playing 60% of a lot of players, but if he wasn't 22% expected ownership, I wouldn't be playing 60% of them. That's what I need to get an edge-ish.
I appreciate you giving me the edge in these tournaments today.
Yeah, maybe I'll just end up paying the rake and continue your heater for you.
Oh, man. Means is going to go out there and strike out like 12 in 5 innings or something, and I am just going to get blasted on Twitter.
It's like 15 points. What? He gets me 15 on this bad of a pitching slate. I think I'll be okay. I mean, someone's going to have 20, but if I take a 15 from 7K pitcher in 60% of my lineups, you need to get the right bats anyways, so I'll take it.
Did you get to any Chirinos?
I don't believe so.
See, that really surprises me out of you.
I got one Chirinos out of 150.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just pretty good. I'm really surprised. I actually expected you to.
That's Robinson Chirinos. I got to 0. I was just control effing, and yeah, just the Robinson Chirinos.
Do you like his spot today, or are you just more worried about going deep enough?
Yeah, just him going deep enough. I don't think it's that great of a spot against KC. Like they have guys that will make contact. I hate playing these not what are they called? Like starter games.
Yeah.
I hate playing a reliever if they're going to be priced up to 8K, because we were playing them last year when they were 55 and 5K and 6K and stuff. And I'll do that all the time because you need 5 innings or even less, and you can get you 15, 16, 18 DK points. But like you kind of need a lot, and it's just means I haven't projected higher than Chirinos straight up. So
okay,
I don't use enough randomness for him to come up a lot. And same thing with Freeland, got him higher than Chirinos.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I just knew that there were times that we have previously had these shows where you were on Chirinos, so I was curious as to see what would make you not want to be on him today.
Oh yeah, I like Chirinos. I just don't like the price. Spot is okay. I think average.
I've got my FanDuel exposures. Essentially 3 pitchers, 44% Verlander. The field is at 23, so I'm very happy there. 28% Pat Corbin. Field's at 20, and then I have 11% Zach Wheeler, where he is at 25. I am still over the field on Eduardo Rodriguez, 7%, and then I have just a scattering of individual guys. From a stack perspective, top stacks, Rockies, I am double the field. Brewers, I am essentially neutral with the field, same as the Padres. Teams that I'm taking big stands on. Oh, so I ended up with a lot less White Sox than I expected. I'm still over the field pretty substantially, almost double, but they are 9th for me.
Okay.
Who the hell is my home run pick? Blackman. I must have a lot of him there in my top stack. Yep, Charlie Blackman, 19% on FanDuel.
Chuck Blackman. All right, let's see if I can select lineups. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm trying to do the select above thing on FC, and I just have not gotten it down. So
select above?
When you like right click on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can like take your top 150 if you sort it in FC.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can just select everything below, or you take the top 150 and move them to another crunch so you can see the.
Oh, I gotcha.
So move money to.
I didn't know what you meant there.
Yeah. Sometimes that don't make sense.
Ooh, had to get a cough out there. Man, I'm really anxious to see if I'm getting means. It's going to be really fantastic when I get like 20% means. And then I'm just like, who's a great option? A John Means guy. It's basically impossible just knowing what I'm looking at, but it should be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see if we're getting any questions. Hold on. Did we just get another ownership update?
Did we?
I hope not, because this is going to be a mild problem for me if we did. And per the message I just saw from Adam, we did.
We did. Yeah, we did.
So now Ian Kinsler is not 37% owned where he's been all day. He's now at 7.
What?
Okay. Everything that I just did, I'm going to throw out now because I can't figure out if anything else mattered.
Well, that's going to change everything. I mean, it's going to change a lot of guys a little amount, which.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to recrunch now.
Yeah, that's that matters.
I wonder if there was just a glitch with him or what happened there.
I don't know, but now now I just want to redo everything.
Yeah.
I just can't. I have to.
We have time. So.
Yeah, that's the benefit of getting really early lineups today. We get the ability to fix mistakes if we have them. And I don't want to just... we've got, 20 minutes? We lock at 7:05 today, I assume?
It is 7:05 Eastern, yep.
I was hoping for a 7:10 one, actually, today. Not normally thinking that I want the 7:10 start, but we'll see. So YouTube chat, premium Slack, either one. Feel free to drop your questions in. We're happy to take those as we work our way all the way up until lock. I'm going to be recrunching FanDuel and DK here, and then we could take a real close look at exposures as we take ourselves all the way up to 7:05. I'm still not going to get means now, E-Rush. I'm pretty confident.
No means?
I would be very, very surprised if I got him today. Outside of maybe 2%.
2%. Well, that's more than 0, which is what you were going to have before. So
I had 1% or something earlier today. So it wouldn't shock me if I got him in a couple of 150, but it certainly won't be anywhere near the ownership numbers. That much I am very confident of. But yeah, I mean, like, Kinsler not being chalk, that probably makes me get a lot of Kinsler now and changes my Padres exposure.
Yeah, that's going to change mine as well.
Because he would have been leveraged out.
Yep.
And now if he's not getting that ownership, that's going to be very different.
That's crazy, a 30% swing from update to update. That I can't remember the last time that's happened.
Same. I don't know who's manning the Osimo YouTube channel right now, but no means no is a really good joke. I like that a lot. So whoever that is, whether it's Spags or Tom or Brett or somebody, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the joke. Good work. Oh, boy.
Easiest fade ever was Kinsler. Someone asked an interesting question, or just a general question. How can you project ownership before lock?
How do you project anything?
I mean, it's educated guesses based on factors we know that can predict ownership. And we don't do it, but the guys behind the scenes are very good at it. And that is why they make hundreds of thousands of dollars playing MLB DFS.
Yeah. Yeah, the same way you project anything to happen. Think of it like this. You're never in awe when you watch the news and somebody's like, it's going to be 74 degrees tomorrow. People have looked at the data and estimated that that's going to be the temperature for tomorrow. Yeah, there's been an infinite amount of slates lately over the past couple of years in fantasy, and when you track that data enough, you learn how to model it.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I wish I made my own previous to this. Now I don't have to because we've got the best in the biz.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need it.
Nope.
Have these, honestly.
Yeah, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I mean, I love our ownership projections. It drives every decision I make.
It should, especially in a sport like baseball.
Like I think back to when I didn't have them, and I just it's like playing with blinders on. I never realized how much I needed them until I have them, and I've seen a very distinct increase in money by using them for a year plus.
It's amazing what happens when you can predict things before they happen.
Yeah, so shout out to Alex and Tom and Eddie on the back end for, I don't know, putting more money in my pocket, both literally and in DFS.
Yep.
Means and Wheeler in a GPP or Wheeler and Soroka? That's a question for you specifically, actually.
That would be Means and Wheeler by a long shot.
Yes. I agree with it because Means is in both of them, so I don't have a choice. But I would go Wheeler and anyone else, and I think you'd be in good shape.
Disrespect.
It is disrespect. Respect is earned. And John Means, the player, has done nothing to earn mine. But tonight, when he spins 8 innings of shutout ball with 10 Ks,
you might just want to log off.
I might have to put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna take a beating.
Yeah. The
same way when Muncie homers.
What is that program you guys use to organize everything like that? Are you referring to Fantasy Cruncher or Excel?
I hope you mean Fantasy Cruncher. It'd be weird if it were Excel.
Fantasy Cruncher is the best optimizer for DFS in the business. That is what we both use. That is what everyone on the site uses to optimize their lineups.
Very true. John Ship says, how are you supposed to use the projections to your advantage? Think about this. If you knew exactly what everybody was going to be owned going into a tournament, you would have an incredible advantage over the public by being able to leverage your lineups in a way that optimizes your chances of winning a tournament or putting yourself in a better chance to win a tournament. Because if you have what you would consider to be decent to good baseball projections, literal point projections, then you can estimate how often people should be in quality lineups. And if you do that and compare them to the ownership, you'll know who you should have more or less of. If you actually had the ability to get the ownership before a tournament, you would be an incredibly profitable player.
Yep, that's
almost by default.
That is something, knowing that or having the ability to know that, whether or not he knew it, was a big landmark day in DFS, the Ethan Gate.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That was big, I guess would be the easiest way to say that.
It is unfortunately why we probably now have 16% rake industry wide compared to like 8 and 9 and 10, whatever we were getting in 2013 and 14 when I was just starting to play.
You know where we don't have that monster 16% management fee number?
Where would that be, Josh?
Yahoo Sports.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. True. You don't have that same number. They're lower. I believe they are consistently 12%.
12. Yep.
So, yeah, if you want to pay less management fees, ship on over to Yahoo. I don't even have to give them this plug. I just choose to because I like them. That is just a regular old me plugging them. They're not nothing coming back on my end. All right, I've got my crunches in. I'm a little nervous to update DraftKings. Not gonna lie. You ready?
Yeah. How many means lineups?
The refresh is in, and the answer is, drum roll, please. I need to rename somebody. They're not actually in here. Hold on. That was anticlimactic.
Nate Lowe.
It might be.
I think he recognized for me actually, so that's probably not it.
It is. All right, one of these teams doesn't have an pitching ownership number, so let's figure out who that is. Which I'm guessing is Chirinos.
Yeah. I don't think Chirinos is in our ownership.
Yeah.
Basically cheating. It's not basically cheating if you know the ownerships. I mean,
no, it is cheating if you know the ownerships.
If you yeah.
It is not cheating if you are projecting what they are. That's called being smarter than everyone else.
Right.
Cheating is when you know them for sure.
Even if you did that, even if you did know the ownerships, doesn't mean you're a lock to win. If you knew the ownerships every day, then yeah, you should be a profit. You should make a lot of money. But yeah.
All right, yeah. Chirinos was throwing off my DraftKings numbers.
Josh, they used to on FanDuel and DK, they used to release for the Thursday through Monday slate when that was a huge deal. They used to release the.
You'd get the Thursday ownership early,
right?
Or you would know. No, you would know the Sunday ownership.
You would, yeah. You could project off that. It was super easy. I mean, if you saw that Odell Beckham was 30% owned in the Thursday through Monday slate, okay, well, you take one game off of the Thursday slate, you can project what he's going to be just by, taking those options out of it. He's probably going to be 34% or whatever. So
right. There used to be a regular thread on the DFS subreddit that would point out all of the ownerships that were relevant for the Monday or the Thursday to Monday slates.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, here's the ownership for football.
Yeah.
So I've refreshed my DraftKings exposures, and it's pretty aggressive. You ready?
All right, let's hear it.
You had how much Verlander?
Now I have 74%.
Okay, I have 45 Verlander. That's my most exposed pitcher. 29% to Corbin. 15, 14, 13 on Wheeler, Rodriguez, Soroka.
Okay.
I have 17% Tanner Roark, which is equal to the field. He is my pay down option. I have half the field on Kyle Freeland. But we all know who we're waiting for. John Means, 5%.
Wow. That's more than I expected. All right, so
Zach Davies, 7%.
Let's see where I'm at on Davies. I can't find a line.
I have every pitcher. That surprises me.
I got Davies at 5%. I'm a little bit lower on Means, actually. It looks like down to from 60 to 59%. So not quite the edge that I needed on him, but
the biggest stand that I'm apparently taking is against Zach Wheeler. The Reds are my number one exposed hitting stack.
I mean, the 30% owned guy,
I'm a little surprised by that. Number 2 stack for me, the Astros. Number 3, the Royals. Nope, that's not the right word. The Orioles. I'm a little surprised that I'm not getting a ton of Rockies, but I'm still over the field. They're just so expensive. I'm excited for this slate, man. It's going to be fun.
This is going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one.
What is the ownership percentage of Wheeler? All right, here we go. Freeloaders. You can have Wheeler.
Man, if Jake's calling you freeloaders, can you imagine what I would have said?
He is at the highest ownership percentage on the slate, it looks like.
Higher than Verlander?
I think so. Let me see.
Then I'm happy about my fade, I guess.
Yep, he is 33% ownership on DK. There's one.
I have 15, I think. How much Wheeler did you have?
25,
Okay.
which he's one that I wanted more of, honestly, but
I thought I would get more of him.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to upload, and then we can take a bunch of questions for like the next 7 minutes.
Yeah, I just think Verlander, it's kind of hard to like get off of Verlander at this point, just based on the line. So
I'm really surprised about my exposures today. The pitching is a lot flatter than I was expecting. I thought that I would be significantly more aggressive on Verlander. Tim Peterson in chat says, I'm stacking White Sox, but I hope Means kills it just to watch the streams tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we don't have to come on and face everyone tomorrow morning. Well, not together. So one of us is going to be right. And the other one won't have a voice. So that'll be sad. But yeah, 60% means it's going to be a rough one. Good thing there's other sports on tonight.
Yeah, like the NBA playoffs.
Other sports.
My state's team is doing well, correct? Are they up 2-0?
Carolina? Yeah, I love Carolina. I think they are a very good team, and not surprised to see them up 2-0. I love that.
Who are they playing?
The Islanders.
Okay.
So they snuck out 2 wins on the road, which is it matters in NHL, but it's a lot easier to win road games, I think, in general. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up, but it feels like a bunch of road teams have won games in the playoffs so far.
That I have no idea about. All right, let's hit some questions. Josh is due to eat crow. Yeah. It's every day. You get really used to it. It's a delicacy as far as I'm concerned because we talk about this stuff every single day. The amount of times that I can't talk about my wins, I can't talk about my losses because they just all happen always. Like there's no... You guys catch them way more than we do. Because whatever happens to John Means today, like there's going to be a similar guy tomorrow where people are on him and I'm just like, y'all are not smart. And then I'm going to be on someone and I'm going to say like, hey, I've got my highest exposed stack is the Reds today against Zach Wheeler. And like, more often than not, I'm going to take a beating. But that's baseball for you. So what hitting team are you fading the most? Where are you least on the field?
So I didn't end up with enough Boston, I don't think. I think I'm a little bit below the field on Boston. Didn't end up on that much Houston, at least Correa. I couldn't find, maybe I'm just not looking correctly, but I didn't see a lot of Correa on my crunches. Let's see. Who else is the public on? They're on Atlanta. Let me paste this in. I have double the field on San Diego still. I am double on Baltimore.
By the way, I like that San Diego call. I'm like 50% higher than the field.
Yeah, that's more of a price thing than anything, just to fit in more Verlander.
I've had a lot of them lately.
Yeah. Actually, I'm right on the field with Boston. It's looking like
15% ownership to Soroka. I like it even more because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. The Mets, I really like a lot. I actually
don't have any Mets.
No Mets?
No. So, it's 6% total, like individually added together. So
it's probably a lot of 3-man stacks and 2-man stacks for me for the Mets.
Okay.
With the lefties especially. But the Reds, I actually did end up on some Reds, Josh.
There we go. I'll see you at the top, man.
If Wheeler blows up, hoping it's one of those big blow-ups. Like I remember one notable one against the Nationals last year where he used chalk and just got absolutely wrecked in the first inning. So hoping it goes one way or the other for Mr. Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, I hope he gets shellacked, I guess. Having 4 times the field of the Reds is way more valuable to me than having half the field of Wheeler. So, yeah, give me Reds. Man, I'm not comfortable with that. So I guess I should talk about where that exposure is going. I do have them as well on FanDuel, where they are getting 3% total ownership. That is, well, technically 4. 1% to Peraza, Puig, Schebler, and Iglesias. So I have a little bit on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, that's where the exposure is really climbing. 27% Peraza, 15% Votto, 18% Puig, 13% Schebler. Unfortunately, 14% Tucker Barnhart, but that is just a function of 5-man stacks and needing a catcher, and I will never care that my catcher comes with my 5-man.
Yep. Yeah, catcher is just a kind of an afterthought position for me too. Like Posey, Perez, Ramos, Barnhart.
I just realized that I never said the pitching thing that was the most ridiculous. We got off on the means tangent. Yanni Chirinos, 21.
You have 21?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's an okay stand to take. He's not going to be owned at all.
No. You just, I the fact that I got to 21% of him and I only have him in for 4 2/3 makes me like happy about the decision, because if I would give him any more innings, which he's proven that like 5 seems like a base, yep. I don't even like I would have got significantly more.
Yeah.
Zach Carpenter says Yanni doesn't play tonight. I bet. Troll everyone. That would not be fun for me.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good for you.
I would be less than happy.
Did you see Nate Lowe or Lau? I don't know.
If it's that one's probably just low. What about him?
He is 20% owned on DK. That's kind of crazy. I mean, he's 3,100, so it makes sense. And there's an expensive pitcher that people want. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have him at all.
Nothing?
I don't really have the Rays.
Oh,
I don't have anybody on the Rays more than 2%.
Well, that's probably why.
Yeah. Yeah, not my team today. Well, we are locked. 7:05. Here we are. Zach Carpenter says lots of Yanni and no means for Josh. Could be a rough night. If having no means makes it a rough night, I'll tip my hat to that. Having 20% Yanni could make it a rough night.
Yep.
But I will never be, no matter what we think of means, no matter whatever we think his actual level is, I will never be upset that I didn't have more of the second cheapest pitcher on the slate, no matter what he does. Like, that's not where, if I get beat by the variance of the 10 guys that are at 8K or below, kudos.
Here's to the mean support group. There we go.
Alrighty, everybody. Here's the deal. John Means is bad. I hope you didn't play him. I hope you're on the right side of history with this one. But we will find out tomorrow morning. Please don't tweet me if it goes bad. Please tweet me if it goes well. Live Before Lock is the promo code. 50% off your first month with us. Any monthly package you choose. Jake, you got anything else? Anything you need to plug for hockey?
No, we're still doing shows. That's about it. Shows and Slack. So if you're a premium member, other sports, come over and play. We're talking Showdown and 2-game slate tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So, yeah, nothing different. Just go John Means.
Go to get a shower really early, John Means, preferably right after the first inning. Best of luck, everybody. You know what's really funny? I barely ended up with White Sox on DraftKings. What a bummer.
So sad.
Not even going to be able to take advantage of it. All right. Best of luck, everybody. We're out of here. Bye.